Well, hello everybody. I think we are live. This is Anna Abramowitz, your interactive storytelling coach. And every day, Monday to Friday, and sometimes on weekends, I go live to talk to you about interactive stories. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to craft engaging learning experience, and not just for the sake of crafting engaging experiences. The goal, right, is to move people to action. And a lot of us are completely disengaged at work. A lot of us have, the people that we're working with have access to tons of learning, tons of resources. I mean, LinkedIn Learning, right? They're not going there. There's a reason. They're not seeing its value. They're not seeing the way it can help them. So that's why I talk about interactive stories, because there's actually a way to engage adults and get them to move into some sort of action and get them to be sold on that journey, get them to be sold on what's in it for them before us putting, a slide, what's in it for them in the learning that they're never going to access, right? So the goal is to get them there. And I wanted to talk about that today, what an interactive story is. If you're really interested in learning the entire process, basically from soup to nuts, there's two options. You can go to elearningsecrets.com. Check out my on-demand webinar there. You also sign up for some awesome emails from me and more stories. And if you've been watching this and you're ready to jump in and you want some help, I'll put the link to actually my calendar so that you can book a session with me and we can talk about if I can help you get there. But that comes later. First off, I really wanted to talk about this whole want versus need thing because I think it's super important. All right, so first off, I'm going to open up my comments so I can see everybody who's here. And I've been away for a little while because I was visiting family. And so if you miss me, that'd be great if you let me know. If you even noticed, haha, just kidding. All right, and then the other thing is, if you have questions about, what I'm talking about or how this applies in your context, because this isn't mainstream, everybody. This is very, very niche. This is very unique, and it's not very commonplace yet. People aren't talking about interactive stories yet. People are definitely talking about storytelling, but I think that a lot of that is really not done the right way. And so I'm thinking that even if you're trying to incorporate storytelling into the things that you're doing for learning for adults, then this will help you regardless, okay? So if you're visiting here, I'd love to see you guys say hello in the chat. That'd be awesome, all right? And if I actually see it at the right time, then then usually what happens is I can actually say hi to you, all right? Okay, cool. So let me just get this all set up here. Here we go, all right. So one of the things that is kind of interesting about storytelling, right, is that especially if somebody's trying to, if you're trying to get an adult to move into that, basically a place from a cold place, a place where they don't think they need any kind of help, where the world makes sense right now, or they've told themselves enough things about the world that prevents them from actually taking the next step and, really starting to learn something which is in many ways takes them out of their comfort zone, right? How do you do that? How do you get somebody to move from that place? Because I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but sometimes you talk to your friends, right? And they know you, and you're seeing something they're doing that's not really cool. And you give them advice and they're like, yeah, okay. And they're like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then they never do it. And even though you knew if they just took on that small step or they did that small thing, it would actually move them in a positive direction. But the thing is that they don't, they haven't sold themselves on it. It's like telling somebody who's smoking to tell them and being like, hey, it's bad for you. Everybody knows that, but do they really believe it's bad for them, right? So really, what we're trying to do with interactive stories is to get people to believe something about themselves and to change their beliefs. Because the thing is, if they're already doing something, they believe it is the right thing for them. So how do you undo that, right? So one of the things you really want to figure out then is what's the journey that they want to be on, what's going to get them excited about that, and then what's the journey that we're going to sell to them underneath. And this is classic storytelling, and it is called the the Hero's Two Journeys, and that's done by Joseph Campbell, right, the father of basically interactive or of storytelling as far as I'm concerned, who's influenced a lot of the way that we think about stories. So what happens is, and let me know if you can actually see this. So a hero in our story, right, gets on the journey, which makes them uncomfortable and all those other things because they want something, right? And a lot of times what they want is very exterior, like they want to find the princess. They want to join, the academy of the awesome, I don't know, space adventurers. Who knows? Like they want to be the best fighter pilot. They want to be the best salesperson. They want to go on a trip, and this will help them. They want to get they want adventure, right? And this is difficult thing to do, obviously, because it takes you out of your comfort zone, but sometimes people like that. So there's a reason why people get on these journeys, right? And that's what they want, which is cool. And if you look at any other experiences that have storytelling in them, you realize sometimes people jump on, or the character jumps on, because they think they want something in the end. And that this jumping onto this journey, going through these decisions, making these decisions is going to help them achieve what they want. Now, this is the cool thing. When they're going through this journey, remember that the person who wants to be, let's say, a better salesperson, they're not here yet, right? And in order to be a great salesperson, you have to change who you are. You have to change the way you think. You have to change the way you make your decisions, because who you are today is not achieving the result that you want in the future. So that means that this person and this person are two different people. And this person has to learn some certain things. They have to go through certain lessons, certain ahas, to become this person. And that's the difference, right? The difference between these two people is the transformation that we're trying to achieve. And so this is what's really cool. The person who comes on this journey and who thinks they know what they want, right? What gets them excited, doesn't know the person they're going to be at the end. And the person making these decisions over here about what's important does not necessarily know what's important. They know what's important as this person right here. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope that's making sense to you. So this is what's cool about these Hero's Two Journeys. They get on the journey because of what they want, what they think they want as the person they are right here. But through the journey, they get what they need in order to become this actual person. And sometimes, and you'll see this a lot in like Pixar movies, somebody gets on because they want to win something. They want to get to, win the treasure, find the treasure. But maybe what they need and what they figure out who they are is a great friend and a great family member and somebody who cares about other people or who people care about. And then that becomes lesser. They realize that what they wanted in the beginning is not as important as what they need, what they actually needed to become the person who is capable of achieving these things. And so what's cool is our interactive story has to do that. We have to entice people with what they want, but through the decisions that we're helping them make, we are actually helping them make a transformation. Now, a lot of people wonder, well, Anna, what are they really learning? Are they really learning how to be a salesperson? No, they're not. There's no way you could teach somebody how to be a salesperson in 15 minutes, right? Whatever. But what you can show them is a possibility of, you excite them enough to say, hey, you could be the best salesperson, and then you show them some of the potential about who they need to be able to get there, and that spurs them to take action to the next step, which is, I really want to be this top salesperson, and I thought it was going to be this, right? This is what I really needed to do. But then through these decisions, I realized that I'm not listening enough. I'm not a good listener. Maybe if there's a module about how to become more of an active listener, and my customers would do that, that would actually really help me. So all this entire thing is orchestrated to help people make a change, a shift in their beliefs, Because one of the things that happens is when you're giving people advice, as the friendly, really great family member, right? That people know you and you're like, you really should quit smoking, Julie. It's not going to work. It's going to hurt you. Julie doesn't believe you though, But maybe Julie one day decides to get on she goes, you know what? I want to spend time with my children when their grandchildren, when they're really old. Maybe that's what gets her excited. And then through these decisions, she realizes that changing her lifestyle is the thing that makes it actually possible for her to be the super granny, whatever that is. So one of the things you have to decide is, what do the people in your organization actually want, right? And what's going to help them? Like, people don't wake up in the morning and go, I can't wait to take that training. Nobody does, unless they've got a really powerful reason to do so. And we keep on pumping up learning that is just without reason. We're like, this is good for you. It's because it's going to make you a great salesperson. And that's awesome. However, if nobody ever gets to that first slide, you built it all in vain. It's a waste. So how do we get them excited about the journey? Because the other thing is, somebody could be getting on that journey, and after the first kind of couple of slides, they're like, this is going to be so hard. And if they're not really sold on it, they'll just go back to where they were. They won't even finish it. How many things have people started in your LMS that they haven't finished? Man, that's a lot, right? They go for the first 3 slides and they're like, no, this is going to be work. I don't have time. I'm just going to go back to where it was. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm fine where I'm at, right? Like, this is important stuff. And so, I talk to people every day and that have crafted for years, have crafted the most amazing pieces, the most amazing training, sales, and they even have scenarios and all this stuff in that training. And that's cool. But if somebody doesn't have the initiative inside, as we're trying to cope with the world as adults, and you're trying to basically be as efficient and as lazy as possible to maximize your life, right? And the only way you're going to actually step out of your comfort zone and do something that makes you uncomfortable, which is learning, is if I've sold you on that. If you think that the outcomes are going to be, my effort is actually going to be worth the outcome that I'm going to get. That's what I'm looking for, right? So where does that happen? So one of the things I suggest is that you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? That's one of the things that a lot of people do. They're like, I have to recreate everything that I have and make it more sexy. All the training that I have, all the programs. You don't, because I bet you there are people in the organization who achieved greatness by using those resources. But the thing is, they had a different set of beliefs. They had a different set of values, or they had an aha moment that said, hey, this could help me achieve what I want. And it's not directly what I thought, but yeah, I could get there. This will help me. So that's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for not necessarily revamping the original materials, which a lot of times they do need revamping, but you need to figure out what's the catalyst that's going to get them there. And that's why interactive storytelling, I think, is very powerful and completely underused. So during my webinar that I run, and I'm going to be running another live one of the things that's really important for people to see is the context in which they can use interactive stories. And because we are like our stakeholders, we are like everybody else in the world. We can't really imagine what something's going to be if we've never seen it before. So one of the things I show you is a ton of examples from tons of different contexts, right? It's like, how is this going to work for me? And it's a great place to start, right? elearningsecrets.com. But if you're the kind of person who's right now working on, and this happened to me, I was hired for my creativity. I was hired for my ideas. I was hired for my enthusiasm, these corporate jobs, also academic jobs. And when it came down to actually developing things that were meaningful, creative, and that actually moved people to behavior change, that was not possible. Now, sometimes the workplace will not change to accommodate you. Your volume is so high and everything is so, there's so much pressure that for you to actually sneak in your little creative ideas is probably nearly impossible. And I've been there, where you basically are a factory of e-learning and things are coming down the pipe so fast, you're just trying to like stay afloat. And I've been to those places. I've worked at those places for years. It's extremely draining. But also, what I tried to do is that I realized that if I couldn't implement things at work that made me proud of the work that I did, and it doesn't matter if you're putting out 100 amazing courses every year, if people aren't looking at it and you know that, that's completely demotivating. That completely grates at you, right? Like you're destroyed professionally, right? So one of the things I suggest is that you take the time to invest in yourself, because regardless of where you go, your skill set will go with you. If you're hardworking, that's great. That's a bonus for you, but you can't take that to the next job and be like, I'm the hardest, most diligent worker. I deliver on time. Everybody says that on their damn resume, right? What can you take with you though? Is pieces that you've built, skill sets that you have that nobody else has cultivated or taken seriously. And that's the people that I want to work with. So if you are wanting to take yourself to the next level, distinguish yourself with interactive stories, be more creative, create pieces that actually move people to action. I want to talk to you. We have an interactive storytelling coaching program. You work with a small group of people. You get coached every week by me. And what happens is the goal is to get you to craft your own interactive story and launch it to the world. Now, for some people, they love where they work, right? They want to implement these ideas and bring them in, and their place is open for that. Well, guess what? Those people are also in our program. So that's totally awesome, and I love the mix, because regardless of where you're at, sharing new ideas is a challenge, right? Getting people to buy in, your team to be on board and to actually, support you. That's regardless of whether you're inside or outside an organization, that is always going to be something that you have to work on, something that you have to finesse, and something that you have to, approach with this sales kind of, I think, mentality, right? This enthusiasm for it. You have to be sold on it as well. So if you want to hone this skill set, and either this is something that you end up doing as a result of for your business, for your clients, that's awesome. I want to talk to you because I can help you get there. And also, if you're the person who's like, my company is ready and I want to be the person who is basically the change agent at my organization, I want to launch something and have the support of professionals guiding me along that as I do my first piece, my first interactive story, I definitely want to talk to you because I can help. So what I'll do is underneath the video, I'll put a link to a strategy session link with me. So it shows you my calendar, but also afterwards it has some questions. So it gives me some context about what you're trying to achieve, what your long-term goals are. And the more context I get, the better I'm prepared for that call and see if I can work with you. All right. So wonderful to have a fresh new week kicking off, right? Make some changes, have some action taken. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, let me know in the comments or share this video. Otherwise, I will see you here again tomorrow. Take care, friends. Bye.